Students, me Sir Arif with a new channel of physics. I want to subscribe my channel and learn and understand physics by easy method. Today we will start a chapter named kinematics and linear motion. Kinematics is the branch of physics in which we study about the motion of an object or body with or without the reference of any external force. Simply, it is also known as dynamics. That means motion of a body we study in it. First of all, I will differentiate between rest and motion. That means what is rest? When a body does not change its position with respect to its surrounding, that means it is at rest. When a body is at rest, that means sum of all the forces act on the body is zero. That means forces act along the x-axis, rightward force equal to the leftward force. Forces along the y-axis, upward force equals to downward force. When all forces are having some zero, that means the body is at rest. The second one is motion. It is opposite to the rest condition. When a body changes its position with respect to its surrounding, is called motion. There are three kinds of motion we study in these chapters: translatory motions, or linear motion, or motion on a straight line. It is very simple. That means motion of a bicycle, motion of a car on a straight line is called translatory motions. Second one is circulatory motions. When a body moves around the center of the circle is called circulatory motion. For example, motion of the fan, motion of electron around the nucleus. Number three, the vibratory motion, to and fro motions, and oscillatory motions. This type of motions, body move around the fixed point, is called vibratory motion, oscillatory motion, or to and fro motion. For example, motion of a pendulum. Motion of a pendulum is an example of the oscillatory motions, vibratory motion, and to and fro motion.
Start.
After the rest and motion, we understand what is the difference between the distance and displacement. The distance and displacement are very far away from each other. That means the space between the two destinations having the no specific direction is called distance. Distance in SI system measures in meter. Distance is a scalar quantity in physics because it has no specific direction. On the other hand, displacement, the minimum distance between any two destinations, is called displacement. Displacement is always having a specific direction. That means that if two destinations A and B means displacement A towards the B. Displacement is a vector quantity, but it has similar unit as distance. In SI system, displacement is also measured in meters. After the understanding of the distance and displacement, we will discuss about speed and velocity. The rate between the total distance covered by a body. Students, now we will discuss about the quantities. As we know that physics is a quantitative science in which quantities are very important. Therefore, in physics, the quantities are classified into two categories. One is known as scalar quantities and secondly vector quantities. A scalar quantity is that in which only magnitude we used to represent this, but there is no direction required. Or in other words, a quantity which is completely specified by a certain number, magnitude, without any mention of direction is called scalar quantity. For example, time, volume, area, speed and mass of a body, etc., etc. They are represented only by a number without any direction are known as scalar quantities. Scalar quantities must follow the arithmetical laws for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. On the other hand, we have another quantity is known as vector quantity. That means a quantity which is completely specified by a certain number, magnitude. By a certain numbers means magnitude with the specific direction is called vector quantities. For example, force. We applied a force on a body on the rightward direction, leftward direction, upward direction, downward direction, or angle with the horizontal. Direction we represent in physics by the two methods, north, south, east, west, and angle with along with the horizontal axis or x-axis. Example of the vectors are force, velocity, acceleration, momentum, torque, etc., etc. Vectors are added by head to tail rules, which is also known as geographical method or graphical method, geometrical method, as well as head to tail rules. Again I repeat, vectors are added by geometrical method, graphical method, head to tail rules, etc., etc. Another method to edit this is known as rectangular component method, in which we resolve the vectors into its component and then we edit these. That means vectors are not added by the simple arithmetical laws or subtracted by the arithmetical laws, but it has a specific method according to the vector method. Multiplication of the vector is known as the scalar multiplication. That means when a vector is multiplied by any number or magnitude. If we multiplied a vector by the minus or negative numbers, that means this is the negative of that vectors. And negative vectors having the same magnitude but opposite direction of the given vectors. A negative vector has the same magnitude but opposite in direction is called is called negative of a vector. Now we will discuss about the speed. The total distance covered by a body per unit time is called speed. In other words, the total distance ratio between the total distance to the total time is called speed. Speed is a scalar quantity because it has only magnitude but no direction. The unit of speed in SI system of measurement is meter. On the other hand, the velocity means the displacement covered by a body per unit time is called velocity. Because the displacement is a vector quantity, therefore velocity is also a vector quantity. In other words, the total displacement divided to the total time, we obtain the magnitude of the as well as direction of the velocity. The unit of velocity in SI system is meter per second. If a body cover equal distance in equal interval of time but no direction is called uniform speed. On the other hand, if a body completed equal displacement in equal interval of time is uniform velocity. The next one we will discuss about the acceleration. Acceleration is the rate of change in velocity is called acceleration. The rate of change in velocity is called acceleration. Acceleration is a vector quantity, but it has specified by the unit meter per second square. So I hope that you know the basic definitions of the speed, velocity, acceleration, distance, displacement, and rest and motion. This chapter, kinematics, have three basic equations of motion, in which the first equation I solve on the board, and you look at the board as well as try to understand what steps are involved. Any body start to move anybody start to move with initial velocity. That means sometime it is 0 and sometime the body already in moving condition, and this is specified by the variable Vi, and that means Vi means initial velocity of the body. As we know that the body increases its velocity to fast and fast. This is the final velocity of the body. It is represented by the variable Vf. Vi is the initial and Vf is the final velocity we have. The first equation of motion on the board. Now first equation of motion to prove Vf equals to Vi plus At. Here Vf means the final velocity Vi is the initial velocity, A means acceleration, and T represents the time. We consider initial velocity of body is equals to Vi, and now the final velocity of body is known as Vf. If we subtracted initial velocity from the final velocity, we obtained change in velocity. Change in velocity means Vf minus Vi. In physics, when we divide it by time, we obtain the rate of change in velocity. When the word rate of change is used in the physics, we divide any quantity by the time taken by that. Therefore, change in velocity Vf minus Vi, which is represented by delta V. Delta V is equals to Vf minus Vi. Hence, rate of change in velocity, we divided both sides by time. Delta V upon T, T means time, is equals to Vf minus Vi upon T. As we know that, according to the definition, the rate of change in velocity is called acceleration, or acceleration is a vector quantity. Therefore, we show an arrow above the A. A equals to Vf minus Vi upon T. According to mathematics, when a term divide on the right side, when it comes on the left side, it multiply the number. At equals to Vf minus Vi, because T shift on the other hand, At is equals to Vf minus Vi. And now another step of the mathematics, when a term on the right or left side with the negative sign shift on the other hand by the positive, we added both sides Vi. Vi plus At. We added the Vi on the left side as well as on the right side. But on the right side, minus Vi and plus Vi are cancelled and Vi shift on the other hand. Therefore, we obtain Vf equals to Vi plus At. Hence, this is the similar equation to prove the equations. Hence, it is proved. Students, now come to the equation of motion number 2. To prove S means distance equals to Vit. That means product of the initial velocity multiplied by time plus half At square. This is the second equation of motion. To prove this equation, we consider the initial velocity of the body is remain same Vi, and the final velocity of the body Vf. But we know that when a body covers the distance during time t second with an average velocity, because it has different initial and the final velocity, so here we find the average velocity. Okay, that means average velocity V bar equals to sum of the final velocity and initial velocity divided by 2. But in physics, distance covered by the body S is equals to V bar multiplied by T. This is the equation number 1. And now we put the value of V bar in equation number 1. This means S is equals to Vf plus Vi upon 2 into T. But as per the first equation, which we proved already, Vf is equals to Vi plus At. So therefore, Vf is equals to Vi plus At. We put the value of final velocity in equation number 2. And now S is equals to Vi plus At plus Vi upon 2 multiplied by T. Now look at the equation carefully. When we put the value of the final velocity in the equation, there are 2 Vi. We added these two, it comes as 2 Vi. S is equals to 2 Vi plus At upon 2 into T.
Start.
So in the next step, we separate the two factors of the numerator according to mathematical law. S equals to 2 Vi upon 2 plus At upon 2 multiplied by T. Now these 2 and 2 cancel. So S is equals to Vi plus 1 upon 2 At. At upon 2 means 1 upon 2 At multiplied by T. Student, now we simplified this equation. So S is equals to Vi multiplied by T Vi T plus 1 upon 2 A, and this T multiplied by T come as T square. So we obtain the second equation of motion. S is equals to Vit plus half At square. Now the third equation of motion, to prove 2As equals to Vf square minus Vi square. As previous, we again consider the initial velocity of the body is Vi, the final velocity of the body is Vf, and the average velocity V bar is equals to Vf plus Vi upon 2. As we know that in physics, when a body covers the distance during time t second, it has the average velocity. S is equals to V bar multiplied by T. So, by the first equation of motion, again we find the value of T. So, Vf is equals to Vi plus At, and Vf minus Vi At, and T is equals to Vf minus Vi upon A. We obtain the value of T by using the first equation of the motion. First we shift initial velocity on the left hand side. It has positive on the right hand side, come negative on the left hand side. And then A is multiplied to the T. So when it come on the other hand, A divide the factors. Now T is equals to Vf minus Vi upon A. So we put the value of average velocity as well as the time in equation number 1. So S is equals to Vf plus Vi upon 2 Vf minus Vi upon A. If we multiply these two brackets, in the denominator we obtain 2A, and in the numerator there are two factors come, Vf plus Vi and Vf minus Vi.
Start.
So the S is equals to Vf plus Vi multiplied by Vf minus Vi upon 2A. Now this 2A is divided on the right hand side. When it move on the left hand side, it comes as multiple of 2AS. 2AS is equals to Vf plus Vi, Vf minus Vi. As per the mathematical formula, A plus B multiplied by A minus B is equals to A square minus B square. Therefore, 2AS equals to Vf square minus Vi square. This is the third equation of motion we obtained. Hence, it is proved there are three equations of motions. These equation of motion also use the motion under the gravity. In gravity, when a body moves from high to low position, or when a body is picked up towards the height, motion under the gravity, when equation is changed, equation of the linear motion is changed into the equation of motion under gravity, where only A is changed into G. Students, now we will come to the equation of motion under gravity. Motion of body under the gravity means free falling body. When a body comes from altitude towards the earth, or when a body goes away from the earth. In this case, acceleration of the body is changed into the acceleration due to gravity. Students, first I write the equation of the linear motion, Vf equals to Vi plus At. If A is equals to G, when the body comes from a height towards the earth, G is taken as positive. This G in physics known as acceleration due to gravity, and it has the same value at all the places on the earth 9.8 meter per second square. The value of the g is a constant value. It is 9.8 meter per second square. When the body comes from a height towards the earth, g is taken as positive. If the body goes away from the earth, it takes as negative. So therefore, Vf is equals to Vi plus Gt is the first equation of motion under the gravity. In the third equation, 2As is equals to Vf square minus Vi square. If again the body comes from the height towards the earth, A equals to G, and 2Gs equals to Vf square minus Vi square. The second equation, S is equals to Vit plus half At square. Again we replace the value of A to G, it comes as S is equals to Vit plus half Gt square. In these three cases, G is taken as positive. That means the body comes from the height towards the earth. If the body goes away from the earth to a height h, so the value of G is we put minus. But it remains the same value, 9.8 meter per second square. So today I will complete your chapter number 3, kinematics and the linear motion. But numericals remains in the program number 2. Inshallah, I will try to explain the numericals and how can we solve this. So Allah Hafiz. Inshallah, students, subscribe this channel also. If you like it comments. If you find any deficiency, you comment on it.